Greetings everyone, please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Alright, looks like that's all booting on up. Can we turn live chat windows? And that's all good to go. And give me another moment to check my other computer. Oh wait, my other computer is stored away somewhere. Oh well. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web. I was going to try to say Days of Ruin replay. Spawn south side as the Orange Star Hawk. We got Rebe Maw. Spawn north side as the Blue Moon Sturm. We got Leviathan XJVL. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh wait, I forgot to turn my macros. Whoops, give me a moment to turn that on. I was forgetting something. And there we go. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport, 2 pairs of comm towers per person. 1 is possibly contestable, but if you lose it, you probably already lost the game. The other one's nice and safe. If you've lost this one, you definitely have lost the game. HQs are a little bit open on the sides with a black boat for a bit of a buffer. Of course, they could influence where the meteorite will land, not to mention it will be affected by the black wave and black storm. I like how they updated some of this information here, and now we do have some brief descriptions here. Useful for all the COs with the various getting increased attack firepower bonuses because they are not always consistent. Storm, of course, has perfect movement, so his recon may push pretty far forward. Red may or orange may run into it. Does run into it. Tank, infantry, and infantry. So Hawk now has 2 tanks, Storm just has the 1. He does cost less firepower, but more defense, as well as perfect movement, as opposed to just more offense. In the end, Storm does come out even with his day-to-day effects, bar on the perfect movement, which is very superior. And plus him some firepower, which is a sheer bonus in this situation. Now the tank and twin infantry. Artillery, tank, and infantry. Does capture up that city there. This one going very far north does get spotted there. Tank enters the woods. Recon in the woods as well. Nothing to displace at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, infantry. I wonder how much damage a Storm Recon does. Has less firepower with 1 comm tower at the moment versus infantry unit on top of a mountainside. Probably not great. The infantry unit may actually would have won that fight out. Yeah, let me just take a quick look at that. I am a bit curious about that. What would it look like if a Storm Recon attacks a Hawk infantry in the mountainside? 30 to 40, I suppose it would be slightly valuable. More damage actually expected. I assume the 4 defense stars would be very effective. If tank does advance to the forest, tank advances to the city. Battlecopter heading up north. Artillery, tank, and infantry. Does boost up from the black boat. Recon interrupts capture, fully stops capture, finish off that unit there. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Of course, Hawk's tank here can't get the first strike. Could do it from the city for 3 defense stars, or from the forest for a slightly bit of hiding. He does have a reinforcing tank here and battlecopters, so he should be cleaning up this stuff no problem. Anti-air is a little bit far away. Does not finish off the tank there. Does take out that tank there. Infantry unit, and infantry unit does finish off the said tank. Double tank and infantry. Give me one. I need to get my drink to my other hand. Does pick off the infantry unit there. Hits the infantry unit twice. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry with another infantry. Hits that infantry unit there and hits that one twice. Gets some good damage there. Though he does enter the range of the artillery, but the battlecopter does manage to swing around and hit the artillery. Hawk is making a lot of good initial engagements. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Recon falls back, and 70,000 versus 19,000 income. Takes the battlecopter. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Infantry hits tank. Hawk now has a black wave available. Huh, did Sturm get a slight rework? I thought his level 1 meteor did 3 damage. Maybe not. I haven't really cast Sturm too often because it's not very common CO for me to cast since the top rated COs are just simply not available. Tank does get a shot on the tank. Oh, goes for a black wave. Goes for an early black wave. Gets a little bit of health regen, a bit of global damage. Infantry unit does take out the tank there. Tank hits tank that's in on the shore. Tank, tank, and infantry. Sturm has his power available. Though with our castle vision, we know it's not going to be a great meteorite strike. Got meteor strike. I'm calling the smaller one meteorite strike. I think you just call it meteor strike 1 and 2. Tank does hit tank and does finish off. Hit the infantry unit twice. And that one once does stop the recon there. And here it gets a good shot there, hits an infantry unit there. Feels like Sturm is being pushed back quite a bit. He only has infantry in this region. Does have battlecopter head down south. Tank here. Of course, we do have anti-air. Oh, drops level 1 meteorite. So it looks like struck the tank, battlecopter, and artillery. Not great, honestly. A lot of these properties still despicably neutral, so the income feels a little bit lower than it normally is. Infantry unit does get knocked. No, it does not get knocked out there. Tank, tank, and recon. Captures that property. Takes out that unit there with the 1 health infantry unit. It cleans all those units there. The 1, 2, and 7 health infantry unit could all just try to join together for a full 10 health. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Infantry hits tank. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry, and infantry. That was finished off both the 1 health tanks. With Hawk, he of course can get some health regen with his power and 2 power. Not as great as Andy, but still can be quite nice. Tank, tank, recon. And Sturm from 95,000 of field versus Hawk 75. It feels like Hawk's been in a better position in this entire game. But it is, right now, Sturm does have the advantage. Rounds and joins and captures. Notice that this city will be captured up next turn by Sturm. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, infantry. Tears out that capping squad. Oh, looks like this one doesn't get fully captured. It's down to 2 capture progress. We got a rocket. For Sturm, since he has perfect movement, the rockets are not bad for Sturm. He's able to blitz through the forest, no problem. Though he does have less firepower on them. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Artillery, infantry. Right now, Hawk does have 8 health tank and 2 battlecopters, which do have the black weapon to do a bit of repair to begin with. The biggest problem is the anti-air in this region. If you able to strike the anti-air first, you'll be golden. Right now, the anti-air will strike first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does stop the capture, or interrupts it severely. Battlecopter, tank, artillery, and infantry. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. It could be, if there's a black storm, it could be a 6 versus 5 health battlecopter. Stern, level 1 meteor strikes this general region. And that was a pretty tight cluster of units there, so that was a pretty good meteor. Neo tank infantry, and it's turn of 133 versus 92. This whole formation is severely wounded. Might as well join the 2 artillery together. I don't know what's better, if a 4 and 6 or 1 10 health artillery. Black Wave, a little bit health adrenaline globally is very nice. You could have saved a bit for Black Storm, no? Either way. Ooh, the 1 health infantry block. Anti-air will strike anti-air. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Recons. Artillery strikes the anti-air, infantry hits infantry, tank hits anti-air, and the 5 health anti-air will strike the battlecopter, knocking out half its health. Infantry hits infantry. Anti-air does get knocked out, so this last remaining battlecopter can do a bit of damage. It does have a 3 and 5 health battlecopter in the region as well. Could join those together, or just try to wait till the next black wave. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. Looks like that 1 infantry unit does stay alive for now. Leaves the capturing squad open to be used as bait. Double anti-air, 1 battlecopter in this region. We've got more battlecopters ruffling about here. Another battlecopter, anti-air infantry. How many battlecopters does he have flying about? He has 7. Granted, some of them are wounded, like that's 3 and 5 health. Recon, infantry, and battlecopter. Tank hits infantry. Oops. I think I need to redo the thermal paste on my CPU because occasionally these lag spikes. I don't know what causes it. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits Neo tank. The extra defense stars actually makes it very survivable versus battlecopters. Does spot the rocket, and looks like Storm's gonna get a pretty good amount of shelling done down south. There's a couple triple artillery in the region for Hawk though. Make that double artillery. Hits a tank. Effectively knocks out another tank. Neo tank hits infantry. Battlecopter hits infantry. Make some good progress. Nothing to stop this tank here, which will put the artillery there, but that could be a form of bait. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. And we got tank anti-air infantry. Could see a black wave. Another trap there, though this time is a 4 health battlecopter. Nice clean sweep up north. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Hits the battlecopter. Full black storm now summoned. Does take a couple more units there. That could be artillery. The healthy artillery that has not been spotted is in range of the rocket. Just needs a bit of a spotter. Recon takes out the artillery. Neo tank shells the anti-air. Artillery spots the artillery. Battlecopter hits the artillery, but only did 3 points of damage. Oh, Meteor Strike 2 strikes this region. Looks like it may smash his own infantry unit there. Maybe 2 of them. If this battlecopter is at 1% health, this 1% infantry should be able to take it out. Probably should have gone for it, though it doesn't have to worry about a black wave or black storm healing that stuff up. Hits that infantry unit twice. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. Anti-air took out the infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits the artillery. Tank or infantry unit finishes off the artillery. Anti-air hits the infantry. Tank, anti-air, recon. Tank hits anti-air. Tank hits tank. Artillery, artillery, artillery. Interesting option by Hawk. Shells the infantry unit there. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter, getting a decent amount of damage for what little health I had. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Does get some good hits there. Good health amount of artillery. Medium tank help engage the Neo tank. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter, triple infantry. Battlecopter, tank, mech, and infantry. Piece up the infantry unit there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Hits the recon twice, hits the infantry unit, shells the tank, hits the unit there. Artillery gets knocked out. We do have the rocket now in range of the Neo tank, not Neo tank, medium tank. We got a good amount of artillery here. One is in range of the Neo tank, but only one. This medium tank will be struck by the rocket, then followed with a battlecopter strike. The problem is sacrificing the battlecopter there. Neo tank will have to be careful since the medium tank is covered by a single artillery piece. Rocket gets shot there. Neo tank's going to brave the artillery, knocks it out. Oh, we got a meteor strike 1 there and managed to strike the middle of this formation. Very nice. Could see a black wave to help her heal up some of that stuff. It's the artillery. Tank gets knocked out by the battlecopter. Now we've got 2 6 health battlecopters here versus 2 healthy, or 2 6 health anti-airs versus 2 health battlecopters. Recon, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. And in turn of 151. Right now Hawk does 117, which you could use Black Wave. Does get some good shots on those battlecopters. Pops Black Wave mid-turn. Try and get some power charge up going. Shells the Neo tank. Tank, infantry, mech, and battlecopter. And here strikes battlecopter, tank hits tank. South 1, 6 health anti-air down south. Tank, anti-air, infantry. Does take out some units. Infantry, mech, tank, and battlecopter. New tank does fall back. Tank, tank, tank. It's the artillery. Battlecopter hits the recon there, hits infantry. Artillery shelling the tanks. Oh, goes for another early Black Wave. Mech finished off the tank. Tank takes out the anti-air. Anti-air, infantry, and battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Rocket does hit the tank, hits the infantry unit there. Another meteor strike. This one not as great. It hit the set of artillery, tank, and mech. I suppose it's not bad. Tank hits tank. Does finish off the tank there. Another pair of artillery and infantry. Neo tank's currently at 8 health. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter, and right now Storm has no counter to the battlecopter down south. At least no proper one. He can probably sack the foil battlecopter and maybe the Neo tank can finish off that same battlecopter. Tank, artillery, infantry. Battlecopter now down to 2 health. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Neo tank may finish off, maybe infantry unit will finish off that battlecopter. Battlecopter, double mech, and infantry. Let's take out those units there. Recon, infantry, and battlecopter. Battlecopter, mech, infantry, and artillery. Recon will head down south. Battlecopter as well. The 1 health battlecopter falls back to the black boat, who's now down to 4 health. Tank does not go down there. Mech is a good first strike there. Get some good around these tanks. However, the artillery, the triple artillery in the back line will start getting some good shelling done. The Hawk may have pushed too far forward over there. Brock is still lurking around, but he is lacking a bit of everything. Mech, infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Shells the mech, shells the tank, shells the anti-air, takes out the anti-air, anti-air takes out the battlecopter. It's the nearby infantry unit there. We do have another battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, and infantry. And serve 140,000 versus 135, so they're still pretty even right now. Does strike the rocket there. Battlecopter does strike the Neo tank twice. Mech hits the Neo tank as well. Slowly whittling it down. The extra defense along with the defensive terrain stars being very good. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Do you have another power available for Hawk? Takes out that unit. Battlecopter gets shot down. All the units being picked on off. Recon gets struck by a mech. Infantry, medium tank. Trying to flip some of these properties now. And hits the anti-air, hits the infantry along the left flank, takes out, hits the mech. Oh, got another power activated and strikes the very congested amount of forces there. If it struck this battlecopter, it hits 4 battlecopters and a medium tank along with some other scariest mechs and infantry. That was a very good meteorite. Tank. Infantry and infantry. Let's look at that infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits the tank. Infantry unit takes time to shoot up a battlecopter. And got a black wave now activated. Bit of global health regen and global damage, which does really help out the units that got struck by that meteorite. Mech hits tank, tank hits tank. Not to mention activating a power and superpower both players have, so plus 10, plus 10. Battlecopter, infantry, and mech. Does hit that mech a couple times. Finish off on the battlecopters. Battlecopter hits the tank, finish off the infantry, hits the tank again. Tank hits anti-air. Shells some of these frontline units there. And does get the recon there. We got a full fighter deployed in the field by Hawk for some odd reason. Maybe that's some sort of form of misclick, maybe meant to do bomber. He has 1,000 funds left over. He'll need 2,000 funds. Well, he got a mech as well, so going for infantry around the mech and bomber. Maybe he's really concerned about all these battle copters ruffling about, I'm not sure. But that fighter I think is a really bad call. As a battle copter hits the recon, medium tank mans get a first strike on Neo tank. Another black wave activated. Battlecopter finished off the rocket, finished off some units on the front line. Fighter pushed way forward. Takes out some of the tanks. Guardian captures there. Right now, Hawk has 22,000 income for 20,000 income, so they're still pretty even with each other, but Hawk is trying to make some flips. We do also have this guy up here who will flip this turn. Do you think they'll strike the medium tank? And looks like Sturm does resign his Angrade, saying you can watch him, and on to the next replay. No, what is? Never seen this button pop up. Hide, eliminate, show eliminated. Oh, in case it's a team game. Got it. And before we get started with the next one, I do need to. I want to check on something. I see somebody sent me a message on Advanced Wars by Web, so I'm just gonna bring it up another tab. Just somebody asking me about a replay they can send to me. I'll worry about that one later. And so let's go on to the next replay. Let's see. And this should be quite interesting. Give me one to adjust the map. Or the stream. There we go. And before I actually get started, I do need to use the restroom, so please give me a moment. Right, I'm back. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. On the spawn morph side, or the bottom right side, as the red fire kindle, we got Hapa Ali. Sorry, I probably butchered that name well enough. Spawn on top of the left side is the brown desert drake. We got Muji 6. Let's go ahead and get started. This is a 3-base map, 2 airports, and also a pair of comm towers in the back line and a pair of comm towers in the middle side sections. Decent amount of shores here, so it's good for recon rushes. Or just in reconning in general. We do have an early recon by Drake. T-copter by Kindle, that's a little bit interesting. Let's go ahead and use this T-copter to carry this infantry unit here. Those do a little boost there, another boost there, an infantry unit there. So managed to get a little bit extra boosting. Double recon by Drake. So double recon versus T-copter. Tank and double infantry. Tank, double infantry. Recon here. Boost the infantry unit up north of the black boat. Another boost there. Tank there. Tank infantry. Add these bases can support a T-copter right there. Recon does hit the infantry unit there. Tank infantry and infantry. Handful of captures there by Kindle. Of course, the double recons did get double interrupt. Tanks now trying to get their way over here. Next turn, both those recons could go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boost strike there. Excuse me. Takes out both the squads there. Tanks heading down south for the winter. And does double boost those infantry units forward or downwards. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Takes a shot there. Boost strike there. So surprised he didn't do a booster strike there, because might as well get a shot there. The infantry unit there isn't starting to capture, so hadn't think that give a boost strike there to guarantee the kill. The recon would have been perfectly fine. Some captures. Tank, and infantry. And full capture, so Kindle finally has her southern comm power, while Drake has been maintaining his. Tank, infantry, and now the first battlecopter in the match. Drake's battlecopters are not great, getting minus 30% less firepower. Tank, infantry, and anti-air. This infantry unit takes out 3 infantry units there. Fourth one gets picked off on the mountainside. It was a boost strike from the city, so plus 40% firepower from the city versus plus 40% defense, barring lack of health, so it wasn't getting receiving plus 40% defense. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank, and we're just going to try to capture another city there. And right now, Drake does have a good core of tanks down south. Over here, I do have a couple tanks over here for Kindle and a battlecopter. Yes, that infantry unit does pick it off. Booster strike there. We do have an urban blight. If she can somehow get a boost strike from the city here of the tank onto this tank, could one-shot it. but that's not exactly likely because it got 6 health tank in between it. The battlecopter may take it off. It just hits tank in open ground. Gets a fair amount of damage there, honestly. Probably the extra +10/+10 global, and she does have 2 column towers up and going as well. Drake has both of his as well. Okay, I'll just look over here. I'm an idiot. Does get some hits over here. Kindle does have a couple healthy tanks this region. 2 9 health tanks pushing way forward. Drake almost has enough for his superpower. Lost the coin flip. And the anti-air inside the woods will one-shot that battlecopter, no problem. Battlecopter triple infantry. Of course, he does need a bit of a spotter to hit that battlecopter. Does spot this tank here. Tank hits tank. Hits the battlecopter. He does have now his Typhoon available. And there we go. Got the Typhoon there. 99,000 versus 74. Howdy. Just ask Spidey to put up a stream in the future content. Oh, future content? Thanks. So I'm no longer part of the Discord. I decided to leave it since I wasn't really doing much with it. Battlecopter, tank, APC in infantry. Oops, got this bug thing here. Let me just rewind. Forward turn. Let's try to do it next turn. And rewind turn. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of the overlay or the double effect. I don't know what turn it pulls from. It sort of seems like it got pulled from multiple turns, honestly. Does hit the infantry unit there. Anti-air hits the infantry unit there. Hits the infantry unit there. Recon gets a strike there. Right now, Kiddo has a tank, a recon, battlecopter. T-copter's down to 11 fuel, or should I say 9 fuel. It can't range back home. He needs a resupply from the APC. Tank gets a boost strike on tank, knocking it out. Does get a tank there. Do have an urban blight now popped. Anything get a boost strike on this one here? Doesn't look like it. Battlecopter could make its way to the city and get a boost strike. Regular strike there. T-copter push forward even further. Next turn we'll have 3 fuel, assuming it stays alive in anti-air. If you'd like to strike one of these battlecopters nearby and seeing it's low in fuel, I don't think the APC can reach it in time. It will have to not move next turn either. Even then, I don't think the APC can range it. So I think that T-copter is going to fall out of the sky. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Does get some hits there. Tank gets a strike on the tank, as on the tank. Tank, and recon. Tank hits the anti-air. Tank hits a boost strike on the tank. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Hits the infantry unit there. Tank hits the infantry unit. It hits the recon. Tank goes down. He will interrupt the capture. And I don't think I see anything nearby to get a boost strike onto it. Anti-air finish off the infantry unit. tank, anti-air, T-copter, and infantry. Sounds like the T-copter fell out of the sky. Battlecopter, tank. Couple strikes there on that tank. That tank goes down. Boost strike on the infantry unit. Does not take out the infantry unit just yet. Infantry, tank, battlecopter, infantry, and looks like the black boat actually over here went out of fuel. Did not realize that. Superpower now active. Typhoon, calling Kindle down to 74,000 monies on the field. It's the tank there. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. I still see a couple of despicably neutral properties. Drake does have 22,000 income versus 20,000 instead of 102 versus 71, so he's about a full turn and a half income advantage. Boost strike onto that tank. Does get finished off there. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. And once again, we got the double overlay. That's fixed. That's the infantry there. Battlecopter gets shot down. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits infantry. Only one's next to an urbanized property to get the booster strike. And does park the tank onto there. Maybe high society. Not enough units in this region actually make use of high society at the moment. Urban Blight would be nice, but not actually a magic bullet in that situation. Finish off the unit there. Hits the anti-air twice, allowing the other battle call to push forward. APC is down to 19 fuel. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Hits the tank again, and lost the coin flip. Drake does have a Neo tank. Kindle could make use of Urban Blight and boosted strikes to take out the Neo tank, but she has no real adequate counter to it. Some soft counters, but nothing too hard to counter it. Let's get the recon there. Has high society available, which is probably exactly what she needs in order to take on that Neo tank. Right now, she does, it says 20 properties here, but of course, the others are slightly different. 22 properties, so she could get plus 66% firepower from high society. When that Neo tank reveals itself, then she knows she needs to play around high society in that aspect. If the Neo tank ends its turn next to an urbanized city, then it's going to receive about plus 200% firepower. Takes the battlecopter there. Neo tank does advance to the forest. Don't think it was revealed. Tank. Does pop an Urban Blight, which does strike some tanks in the back line, a recon, and that's about it. An infantry unit. Boost strike there. Gets the anti-air twice. 2 more anti-airs in reserve. Infantry. And keep 16,000 funds in the bank. Stealths are available, so maybe she is going to try to go for a stealth next turn. Anti-air takes out battlecopter. Anti-air takes out another battlecopter. Typhoon's almost available. Problem for going for stealth is, against Drake, it's already going to be low on fuel, let alone hot against Drake. It would make its fuel even lower. I assume she does go for a stealth. Anything big will be hit by the superpower quite hard, though. Do have 130,000 versus 70,000. She's really far behind, not to mention superpower to really even get greater. Tank hits her recon. Do have a bomber with 13,000 monies left in the bank. Infantry, 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 and battlecopter. It's the tank. Cold Kindle's force down 80,000. Picks up the infantry on top of the mountainside. We do now have a urban blight available. Depending where that Neo-tank parks itself, it could be in a very deadly position. Tanks actually, and the Neo-tanks all rotating down south. Neo-tank, tank, and infantry. Bomber advancing. Battlecopter triple infantry. Takes out recon, hits infantry unit there. Artillery, anti-air infantry, and battlecopter. Tank, infantry, infantry, and battlecopter. Infantry, anti-air, and medium tank. Resupplies that battlecopter. The black boat's actually down to 4 health now. Tank hits anti-air, battlecopter hits tank. Tank, tank, and infantry. Battlecopter tank destroyed. Battlecopter gets hit and knocked out as well. Infantry, double go tank, and a battlecopter. Kindle has to be careful of the anti-airs. Bomber not advance its way forward. Infantry, infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. Anti-air, tank, tank. Overall, just repositioning all the forces. Another battlecopter, pair of recons for better spotting. And horse and infantry. Interrupts the capture there. That prop is still despicably neutral. Right now it's 20,000 incomes, 24,000 incomes. So there's 2 properties that are despicably neutral. Another Neo-tank deployment field, infantry and recon. Right now, if Drake gets no day-to-day repairs, he does 24,000 income, so he can afford a Neo-tank every turn with a pair of infantry. Battlecopter, triple infantry. Overall, just rotating the front lines. Some of these tanks are a little bit low in fuel, though. 21 fuel left in that one. Battlecopter gets shot down. Kindle now has her high society available, which could be very deadly. Right now, she does have the same 20 properties, so she has plus 66% firepower. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Let's look at the battlecopter. Anti-air, recon, battlecopter, and infantry. It's the anti-air twice. And we do have a somewhat mid-turn high society. Battlecopter destructing medium tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits medium tank. Infantry takes out infantry tank with plus 2% firepower. Try to capture the comm tower. Nukes the anti-air. This infantry unit could easily go down and the anti-air could strike the battlecopter. You have a tsunami now available. Infantry, and battlecopter with another infantry. New tank hits tank. Infantry hits tank hits infantry. Takes out the bomber one shot. Takes out the tank there. Hits the battlecopter. Hits the tank. Hits the recon. I think Kindle is just getting clean sweeped. Takes out some more infantry there. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. 224,000 on the field versus 98. It's not looking good for Kindle. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Another tank, recon, and battlecopter. I have just a feeling that this game is pretty much over at this point. It does get a bit of damage on the anti-air. Neo tank and double infantry. Hits one of the battlecopters. Battlecopter, recon, and anti-air. Hits that recon a couple times, trying to capture the despicably neutral property. Hits the tank up north and does go ahead and resign there. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Okay, let's see. I think there's another replay I want to eye. Nope, it's that one. Give me one to adjust this. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on top left side as the red Jake, we got a 4 name. So on bottom right side as a Silver Claw Adder, we got John Rah Rah Rah. When it comes to this map, of course there's a base back here which can spawn a missile to ambush the airport. Last time I cast this one, there was no ban on pipe runners. There is a ban on the pipe runners now. Maybe there was a bug in the menu then. Something just seemed off about that. Pipe runners are banned, so you can't just use the shell the airport and the base. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. You can always use a recon to help spot stuff there as well. This is a 2-base map, 1 airport, so this game is going to be a bit more heavy on battlecopters. Pair of comm towers in the corners, which are contestable, though they're generally pretty firm one side and another, but they are contestable. So you have to make a concerted effort to defend and to obtain them. More infantry, not a big surprise. Adder's recon reconnoitering to the west. And we got Jake's heading down south. Nope, heading over to the east. Goes for a tank and infantry. Both sides have a tank now. Interrupts the capture. Interrupts the capture. Of course, it looks like this tank is now in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tank hits recon. Tank infantry. Adder now has his airport, so we can probably start eyeing for some battlecopters. Oh, and Adder does go for recon here. Jake as well. Artillery, recon, and recon. So both players see their opponent's airports, and there's been so far 0 battlecopters on the map. Also 0 bombers, if you're ever concerned about that. Tank. Recon hits recon. Tank hits tank. Recon, infantry, battlecopter. Tank is down south, hits the infantry there, hits the recon, hits the capping squad, interrupting its capture. Right now 17,000 versus 16,000 income. And another interrupt on the right side. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and so the recon will spot the battlecopter, as Adder's battlecopter got spotted last turn. Artillery shells the recon. Goes another tank there. Gotta make sure you shell the artillery first, then move the tank out of range, or else you may lose vision range. Recon, tank, and T-copter. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Hits the tank on the left side, hits the recon twice. Recon goes down. Recon, infantry, and battlecopter. Good shots there. Take out the tank and effectively take out, and will fully take out the recon there. Feels like Adder's making some great early victories. He also has almost enough for a superpower. Jenny's best idea from the goal for just repeated powers. Jake's a little bit situational since his beatdown provides +1 indirect range and plus increase the planes bonus from 10 to 20%. His superpower, of course, give increase up to 40% and give vehicles +2 movement range while retaining the +1 indirect range. Bit of a mixed bag's abilities. He has currently no indirects in the field to make use of the indirect effect, so his superpower is just generally by default the better option. Adder can now pull out a Sidewinder. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. And looks like this recon will be shelled again. Tank hits tank. It does take out the tank there. The lock rock's now available. Interrupts and stops the capture. He will interrupt that capture. Tank, battlecopter, and infantry. And do have a side slip now activated. Even +10/+10 global, and of course even +1 movement range global. Takes out some infantry units, very nice. And there goes recon again. Recon, tank, and battlecopter. Block rock now deployed on the field. Hits the infantry unit there. Tank gets struck by the battlecopter, and again, there's the +40% planes bonus. Does not take out the anti-air of the infantry. Tank, anti-air, and battlecopter. Another side slip going for 1-2 punch. Or 1-2 dodge. Sidestep. 1-2 sidestep. The 1-2 is usually a marching terminology as well. Either way, got a pair of battlecopters here. No anti-air, at least no healthy anti-air in the region, so these battlecopters should reign supreme for now. It's the unit on top of the city. Battlecopter hits the tank, interrupts the capture, fully stops the capture there. And looks like this tank is almost down, will be machine gunned down. It does somewhat trap this 5 health tank. It does have some room to move, but not necessarily great locations to move. Anti-air will strike the battlecopter. Battlecopter hits tank, a recon, and the recon goes down. Tank, recon, and battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Hits a tank, hits the infantry unit there, hits the battlecopter. Another side slip's now available. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Recon, infantry. Battlecopter, and artillery. Of course, this artillery is still here, ready to show the recon again. He's just keeping there permanently. Neo-tank infantry. He actually does push forward the artillery this time. He did move the tank away from the recon there, so he may have lost a bit of spotting there. Recon does push forward, hits the recon. Artillery, battlecopter, and tank. Does take out the recon there. Tank hits infantry, infantry hits infantry. And looks like he's starting to shell the northern recon there. Don't think it's taking that one out yet. So this will be the first one, that one's going down. Recon push forward, does spot a lot of good stuff there. Side slip's now activated. Neo tank strikes tank. Tank hits anti-air, tank hits anti-air. And we do have a whole sortie of battlecopters here. We've got 5 of them. We also got another 5, and now technically 6 battlecopters are reaching for Jake. Does get some good shots on those tanks. Does not take out the recon just yet. Does take out battlecopter there with the anti-air. Has access to block rock now. And does shall take out that recon there. If he had trouble taking out that recon, he could always move that artillery to a planes and get the booster strikes. Hits the recon twice. Does hit the recon there. Does take out the anti-air. Hits that anti-air as well. Battlecopter, anti-air, and recon. Block Rock now summoned. Adder enters for 170,000. Drake right now is 137,000. 21,000 income. This Neo Tank could be struck by this Neo Tank. Booster strike there from the Battlecopter. Remember, he gets plus 40% firepower on planes, even if they're hovering above the planes. Battlecopter reviews the Neo Tank there. Solves the Neo Tank with the Battlecopter. Oh, plus 2 movement range is quite a bit of distance. Able to sweep around to the backside and penetrate it. Does not take the anti-air there. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank, and does finish off tank. Recon does finish off the artillery. Tank T-copter. Battlecopter hits Battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Tank finish off tank. Tank is a good shot than the Recon. Finish off the Battlecopter. For some reason I thought that Recon could defeat the Neo Tank there. Neo Tank get hits twice and thrice by the Battlecopters. And the Recon down south gets shelled once again. Does look at the Battlecopter there. Another boost strike on the Battlecopter, knocking it out as well. Battlecopter, anti-air, and infantry. Does look at the Battlecopter there. And there. Neo Tank gets finished off by another Battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Tank, Battlecopter, and infantry. Another Sidewinder is available, though he's not deployed one out, just side slips. Now let's go for our side slip. There's a unit there. Hits the infantry unit there from the platform. Tank. It shells another Recon up north. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Hits the Recon twice. Looks like Adder's forces grouping up down south. And it's for 139,000 versus 139,000, so they're both pretty even at the moment. Battlecopters and ATs rotating down south. We have another Battlecopter, a pair of Recons. Hits the infantry unit there. Get some good hits. Battlecopter, anti-air, and infantry. Neo Tank infantry. Another side slip. There's a lot of forces up here. It'd be difficult to crack that region. One, he's lacking vision. Two, the counterattack could be quite severe if Block Rock. Does the tank there. Only spots about half the force in that region right now. tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Block rock could be very devastating. Depends on what he sees. Does take the recon up north. Battlecopter gets a boost strike there. Recon hits the infantry unit there. Finish off that tank there. Hits the anti-air. Hits the anti-air. Hits the infantry. Hits the tank. Hits the tank. Hits the anti-air. Hits the battlecopter. Takes out the tank. Strikes the artillery for a good amount of damage. Tank, and battlecopter. Hits the tank a couple times. Takes out the recon there. Do now another side slip activated. Hits the tank. Hits the tank again. Anti-air does not finish it off, so if you start joining together, maybe with this 3 health tank. Tank, battlecopter, and recon. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Tank does have that tank up there. Anti-air also tries the same tank, but it's going to be shelled next turn by the artillery. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. The battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Let's take out the anti-air, takes the battlecopter. New tank down south, takes the anti-air, flips that properly, or trying to. Looks like he will. Battlecopter, tank, and recon. Tank hits the anti-air, hits the battlecopter, and Adam does go ahead and resign there. This is Aaron Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I probably have time for one last replay tonight. I do need to use the restroom again. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Oops. Let's see. Now we can do Rachel versus Andy. It's been a while. I don't really cast Rachel too much, so this would be a nice change of pace. It looks like the same map dimensions as the previous one as well, so very nice. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars not by Web replay. So on the top or bottom right side as the Umbra Wild Andy, we've got Daniel Moreno, or Morno. Small on top left side as the red Rachel. We got a not red, orange star, which I think is actually supposed to be more of red color, but they don't want to do red star for the US style forces. A little bit counterintuitive, but either way, let's go. Oh crap. That's the okay. I've been clicking on some buttons. Let's get started. This is a 2-base map with one set of airports in the corner. We do also 2 sets of comm tower with the properties of 25, so it's a little bit lower income, but this show should be relatively heavy in battle copters. Depending where the missiles land with the covering fire, who knows how effective Andy's power and or superpower may be. Andy should try splitting apart the damage as much as he can so he can get more health recovery of his power and superpower, I guess. Do now have a tank deployed on the field by Andy, as well as by Rachel. There's also a seaport here, but I don't really know what super usefulness it will provide. Maybe to help landers drop some units along the flank here. That's the best case scenario. But overall, I'm not sure what a lander would exactly do. There's already a land bridge right this direction, so... Either way, this comm tower does get interrupted, so no comm towers for either player just yet. We do have comm towers safe in the corner as well. Tank. Interrupts the capture a little bit further. Actually, no, it will be captured next turn. Because then 7 plus 4 equals 11, plus the 10 equals 21 out of 20. Interrupts this capture here. Does get a nice bit of first strikes here for Andy. And now Andy does have 1 comm tower. Rachel does not have any. Gets that infantry unit there. Tank hits tank. The wounded 5 health tank does pull back. Hits the healthier tank there. We have an artillery and tank down south. There's quite a bit of forest and mountains here, so artillery should provide some good cover. The wounded tanks do fall back. To try to limp it around a little bit, he could try to go an early hyper repair. Covering fire is now available, which improves her luck damage to plus 30% luck, and she goes for lucky last. Okay. Plus 30% luck. Effectively plus 15% firepower, but it's more of true damage. So effectively you should on average get around plus 20% extra damage that bypasses any armor effects. Comm towers does more quickly apply to it. Anti-air and infantry. There's a pipe here, so pipe runners could be deployed out here. Is it a good idea? No, but I'm just saying you can. Maybe a grit pipe runner could actually provide some decent coverage. Hits the tank twice. How much capture progress is left on this one? 2 capture progress, so next turn will be captured. Comm tower is captured by both players in the corners. Do have a hyper soon be a hyper upgrade available. Artillery and anti-air. Comm tower has been captured. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. The amount of anti-airs in this region, then maybe this battlecopter should just go up north. It's not too terribly farther. After there's no Pythagorean theorem, and going up this here means you don't lose any distance. Neo-Tank Infantry. So early Neo-Tank by Andy. That could be very hard to deal with the Hyper Upgrade. Hyper Upgrade now available. Another Battlecopter by Rachel. Tank hits tank. It's the artillery, infantry, anti-air. Tank and tank. Hyper upgrade now goes 108 to 112, so it's not meant for the extra healing. It does still give him +1 movement range and +10% firepower on all units, including infantry units. Neo-Tank strikes the artillery. Got multiple battlecopters region hit that Neo-Tank. Lucky Last would be a very good idea right now. Yeah, I do think Rachel should go for Lucky Last and start hitting the Neo-Tank with luck damage. Hits the tank there. Hits the tank there. Maybe a better idea to go with the anti-airs. Hits the infantry unit there. Couldn't get out Lucky Last. Tank anti-air. Neo-Tank takes out another tank. Battlecopter gets shot down. Does not shoot down the other battlecopter. We do have Lucky Last available and almost pretty close to covering fire as well. Instead of 135 versus 115, so about 1 turn advantage. Both players have 18,000 income. Sacking battlecopters onto the anti-airs. Covering fire is available. Infantry will hit here. HP will hit around here. Value, hard save will hit the Neo-Tank infantry, or yeah, I'm not sure where value will land. One value, the one did strike here. There's an anti-air next to Neo-Tank here, so the value struck probably somewhere around here. Maybe this very corner there. And the other two did strike over here as predicted, calling him down 105. Hyper repair is probably going to be very needed soon, as things, as soon as things stay barely alive. But those things that got hit hard are no longer alive. We've got an infantry, artillery, and Neo-Tank that are still alive from the covering fire. Neo-Tank hits the tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Anti-air hits tank. Alright, battlecopter. I think he's trying to go for hyper upgrade. Goes from 82 to 112, so it restores 30 funds, so a day and a half of funding. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry, so that's a pretty good value play there. After all, a day and a half, compared to, say, Colin's Power of Money, or not Power of Money, Gold Rush is half a turn's income, barring the fact they all previously had money. That's 2 stars for 6 stars for 3 times the amount, so yeah, probably a very good hyper upgrade to say the least. Neo-Tank still pose a bit of a problem here. Battlecopter, tank, tank. Battlecopter gets shot down. Neo-Tank takes out another tank. Getting some good hits in the center. Another Lucky Last is available. And it might be necessary to do it. The problem is not many healthy units nearby to really utilize to hit that Neo-Tank. Does go for a pair of captures. Andy's on 15,000 for 21,000 income, which is quite important to say the least. Tank gets a strike on the tank. That looks like a normal attack. Loses that unit entirely. It feels like Rachel's not getting much luck damage. Should have gone for the attack onto that Neo tank there. Because even if you just get 1 point damage, the infantry pays for itself. And the luck range is quite large. Battlecopter, battlecopter, and tank. Neo tank takes out, what, that's the 4th or 5th tank? That Neo tank's actually low on ammo. That's actually quite difficult, because I don't think I've ever seen a Neo tank run out of ammo in these games. And delete some units nearby, trying to avoid any sort of additional power charge. Trying to avoid, because the Neo tank is down to half health and doesn't want to hyper upgrade to. Gets the hyper upgrade, restores a good chunk of the health that Neo tank is at 8 health. Just ignore the 3, just assume it's a half of an 8. That Neo tank is being so stubborn. It does not want to go down. Got another lucky lass. Hits the anti-air. Battlecopter hits Neo. Hits the infantry unit there. Use the regular tank for that shot. Use the regular tank. Neo tank finally goes down. Got a medium tank by Rachel. Infantry. Medium tank finishes off 1 health infantry unit there. Battlecopter gets a good shot there. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter. Tank and infantry. Hits the tank. Interrupts the capture. Rachel does have 4,000 extra income. The income's not too high in this match, so that is very important there. While I throw that 1 health battlecopter somewhere to join in. Here's another battlecopter. Does avoid Rachel's medium tank. This one, the medium tank will strike the medium tank. And does block the medium tank. And there's actually no way for this medium tank to strike this medium tank, because the medium tank have to get out of the way to hit so this tank can hit the infantry unit there. A shot there from the city. It's probably the best shot for it to do. Another medium tank here. Infantry. And you can do hyper repair to capture the city. Medium tank strikes medium tank. Anti-air strikes the medium tank. Battlecopter hits tank. Hyper repair, which does allow him to capture the city and repair up the damage he just took. Nice 1-2 punch there. Battlecopter hits attacks the defenseless pipe scene. Hits that pipe scene as well. And he's just kept on rolling. Down to 42,000 versus 122. Lucky lass. Yep, nothing up north. This game's effectively over. And looks like Rachel's going to go for the Annihilated. Goes for a pipe runner. Pipe runner can get a shot off. I am curious. Let's see. Pipe runner. I could take out the anti-air. It has, what, 2 minimum range, right? Yes. That sound effect is not right. No, it makes a different sound effect in the cartridge, doesn't it? It's like sound, that scraping sound. That sound effect's not correct. And it resigns there. That sound effect's not correct. Either way, this Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay.